OGAccountability.com. Hey, thank you everybody for tuning in. This is David with OG Accountability. Today we're sitting down with a special guest from Florida, Texas cousin, I guess. Like the two states kind of get along very well.
Is that right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Texas and Florida, I think because we have such staunch, good governors that will stand up for what's right. But I'm here with Jake Lazar. Jake's come in from Florida with us. He's going to be speaking at Huffman Church, our church, this weekend. And I met you, it was in Illinois, right?
Yeah.
I always want to say St. Louis, but
I think it's Fairview Heights, right?
Yeah.
Technically?
Technically.
Like, what is it, 20 minutes east of?
We were bougie and stayed in St. Louis, because we needed
That explains the hotel. I was
Yeah.
wondering how there was a 5-star hotel.
Yeah, it was great.
Fairview Heights.
So I always, every time I say I met you, I'm like, yeah, I was in St. Louis. And I'm like, no, we stayed in St. Louis. But anyway, so Jake's here with us today. We're going to learn a little about Jake and what's going on in his life, and just in his own words, him share where he's from. Try to get him to become a Texans fan a little bit.
Keep praying.
Keep praying. Maybe an Astros fan.
Now that's on the table. That's on the table.
Well, I mean, they've won a few World Series. Everybody wants to jump on that bandwagon.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm open. I'm open.
But Jake's been here, and he's been staying with us. He's got to meet my daughter.
Yeah.
And he's got to meet my dog, Roman. God bless. Roman's been a hellion. We need prayers for Roman. And did you see that Jose Canseco rookie card?
No, I did not.
Here's Mark McGuire's 70th.
Hey, we were just talking about him.
It's in there somewhere. I don't think that's the 70th, but
Let's go.
got quite a few cards left, man. I got some Nolan Ryan, a bunch of Nolan Ryans in here and stuff like that.
Who's your favorite player of all time?
Ooh, probably Ken Caminiti. Yeah, he's an Astros.
Okay.
Astros third baseman. I
He's
played
probably
third.
in this stack here, right?
I've got him in a couple. No, I have them put away in safekeeping.
Okay.
Yeah, these are just cards I kind of don't care about.
Okay.
But probably Ken Caminiti. He was a
Okay.
third baseman, and he's passed away, but he was like a Houston staple.
Big community guy?
I was at an age I really wouldn't have remembered back then.
Okay.
Things like that weren't important to me, but like, I got Jose Altuve. I love him. I loved Correa. Love Springer. I've got room for a lot of people in my heart, but and of course Nolan Ryan. Who didn't love Nolan Ryan? And he was an Astro.
Okay.
And then he went to the Rangers.
Uh-oh.
The Rangers.
That's bad blood, right?
Rangers are kind of on the bad list right now. I mean, they beat us.
But they won the World Series.
Yeah, but we didn't get to go to the World Series.
But you just had a few. But I understand. That's
More
not how it
is
works.
more. More is better.
But that's interesting because in Houston, you guys have the Texans and you have the Cowboys, and you kind of root for each other, right?
I do. Most people I know do. Like my buddy John, he is such a diehard Cowboys fan. He loves the Texans. He's got the Cowboys golf bag. His golf cart was Cowboys colors. I mean, so yeah.
I'm intrigued as to how that can happen with the NFL, but then when it comes to the MLB, the Rangers and
Yeah.
the Astros, it's not happening.
Yeah, forget it.
Okay.
And people have always said what the Cowboys is America's team.
Yeah.
Man, Cowboys get so much hate now.
Oh, for sure.
Poor guys. Man, everything they do, they just get trashed. They can't.
Do you follow the NFL memes?
No, but I get them sent to me a lot.
Okay, they're great. It's a great account.
I'll have to go do it, man.
But
I'll have to look that up.
every season without fail, they have this running post, and it's whenever the Cowboys get beat, they'll put the picture, the face of the quarterback of the opposing team that beat them, and then it'll just say, "Just checking to see if you're still dem boys." And then it's by the end of the year, it's all of these quarterbacks who have beat the Cowboys. It's so funny.
Now I will tell you, I don't like the "we dem boys" thing.
No,
I don't know. There's something about grammar that gets to me.
Yeah.
I don't have room for bad grammar in my life. Maybe it's the dad in me.
Sure, yeah.
Like, well,
you checked Peyton.
Yeah, she said.
I just got some, or what did she say?
I can't remember, but immediately I'm like, and I try to do it graciously. I don't try to be rude about it, but I'm like, hey,
yeah.
Good proper grammar is important. Proper grammar can set you up for job interviews, different things like that. If you don't speak well or correctly, I don't want to say it's a sign of low intelligence, but it's a sign of I think proper grammar is a sign of self-worth, that you take the time to purposely be thoughtful and meaningful in what you say.
Yeah.
Maybe because I've spoke my whole life, it's important to me. But so you're in Florida, but you're not a native.
I am not a native Floridian.
So what area in Florida?
We're staying in Houston, or we're staying in Houston.
They're coming to Houston.
Isn't that crazy? We
Astros.
are in Orlando, so smack dab, right in the middle.
Nice. Well, does that mean you get a discount now to go to any of the parks?
I was wondering, but I haven't seen them yet.
Yeah, if you have a Florida address, they give you a discount to like Disney World, to Universal, and different things like that.
Oh, really?
So we'll be using y'all's address unless a Disney exec's watching. Actually, I won't go to Disney.
Okay.
We will.
Universal?
I'll go to Universal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done Disney 3 times.
3 times.
And Disney, unless they want to pay me to say good things, it's hell on earth when you go with kids. Hell on earth. And
what made it that way?
Well, you got all these kids walking around, and you see these parents. They've spent $7,000 for their 2-year-old to sit in a stroller and cry and scream all day long. You're not really doing it for your kid. You're doing it for yourself. Yeah. Your kid's not even going to remember it. So we waited till the kids were older, and my grandmother, the kid's grandmother, says, I'm taking every kid to Disney World. That's my dream. So she's taken them, and we went, and the first time, I mean, trust me, it's magical for 4 or 5 hours.
Okay.
And then it's like...
So it starts good.
Yeah, it starts well. And then it's like, no.
Nosedives.
I'm done. You wait in line for hours. The food is horrid. Horrible.
And it's expensive, I would imagine.
Super expensive. At Hollywood Studios or whatever Disney's Hollywood is, they have one restaurant there. I think it's called the Brown Derby. Of course, you're going to spend quite a bit of money. The food there was pretty decent. But other than that, you spend tons of money. You're sunburned, depending on when you go.
Yeah.
So hot.
It's so hot. Yeah.
And miserable. There's kids screaming everywhere you go. And after about 5 or 6 hours, even our kids are kind of like, can we go back to the resort pool where we're staying? They were done.
Wow.
We're like,
coming from them.
We got 4 more days of this.
Wow.
And then we finally realized, let's just come and go to Universal. Have you ever been?
Long time ago.
It is. We went 2 years ago. Man.
Pretty sweet.
Oh, man.
I remember one ride I went on. It was a Spider-Man ride. It was all indoors. And it was like a movie screen in front of you the whole time. I don't know how on earth it happened. But there was like this part of the ride where you're going off of the roof, and then you like fall off the roof. You're about ready to hit the ground, and then hit spider web like catches you, and you just stop. Then you're suspended in the air, and you can feel it. And then there's like, I don't know, there's this fire thing that you're flying through, and then it's super hot.
Whoever came up with all this stuff, they're geniuses.
Incredible.
When we begin to look at like stuff like that, and it's great that we were able to do those things. And I'm not complaining. I'm being half jokingly when I say it. But yeah, I won't do Disney again. But it's awesome to go for the experience. And the first time, Grandma, the first time we went, Grandma had carte blanche on everything.
Okay.
So she had sent Peyton to the castle. You know the big castle you see?
Yeah.
Sent her in there to get her makeup done, her hair done.
What? That's a thing?
Yes. Dress her up in this princess outfit with a crown, and then they do a photo shoot. And then everywhere she walks in the park, all the workers, when they see her, hey, princess, and they curtsy in front of her. And
how did Peyton feel with that? How old was she, first of all, when she did that?
Oh, man. She would have been 5 and a half, 6-ish, right around that age.
Did she love it? Did she hate it?
She loved it.
She did. Okay.
Yeah, she loved it. The next time we went, she's like,
how couldn't she if you're a girl?
Absolutely.
You're living your dream.
Then the next time, like, hey, baby, you want to go do that? And she's like, no, I'm good.
See, that's what I was wondering, because I was thinking the way that I know Peyton at the level that I do, I just wouldn't take her for
no, not now.
The princess.
Now she would say this, hey, Dad, I got an idea.
Let's go portaging and go fish.
Let's go fishing
for a week.
Or let's go hunting, or let's go to the beach, or the money you were going to spend on that, let's go shopping.
Okay.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, she's a professional shopper. But so you're there in Orlando, but you're not there by yourself.
That's right. Yep. There with my beautiful wife.
Okay.
And we got a golden retriever.
Golden retriever.
And we got a cat.
Got a cat.
Yeah.
You a cat guy?
No.
Hey, I hate cats.
No. Yeah, my dog is saved, by the way. She's a golden retriever, so obviously she's an evangelist.
Absolutely.
But, my cat, she is, we're not really sure about that. But she actually serves a purpose now because in Florida, we've got cockroaches.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you guys have them down here. We've been seeing those June bugs.
Yeah.
But we got cockroaches down there. Not a lot at all. We've probably had 3 in our house, but we've never had them before, and we're clean. And anyway, it's just a totally different thing for us. But our cat will flip it on its back and just sit there and look at it. I'm like, all right.
Sit there and play with it.
Good cat.
Yeah.
You actually, pulling some weight around here.
Good job, Satan.
Yeah, right.
I hate cats, brother.
Yeah.
I hate them. Well, I had one, and everybody's like, get a cat. They're self-sufficient. They're not needy. I got the neediest cat on the planet.
Of course.
He was so needy.
Of course.
His name was Tank.
Tank. What
he
a
was
name.
A Siamese cat.
A Siamese cat.
Yeah, named Tank.
Man, you picked it right.
And I'm so glad that Tank went bye-bye.
Oh no.
It was a great thing. But
how long did you have Tank?
Year, maybe about a year and a half.
He went bye-bye after a year and a half.
He found a different home.
Okay.
Yeah. Found a different home.
Okay, we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. I didn't go dump him anywhere.
I don't know. This is Texas, man.
It is Texas. Do you ever go iguana hunting or go hunt pythons?
I have not.
It's a big thing in Florida.
I didn't even know that.
It's so if you find a python, am I saying that right? Or python. If you find a python anywhere in Florida, you don't need a license, and they want you to kill it immediately.
Okay.
Immediately. There are channels on YouTube dedicated to just hunting. My daughter and I watch them. Matter of fact, she wants to go to Florida and go down and hunt pythons.
I don't want to go to Disney World. I want to go hunt pythons.
I want to go hunt pythons. And if she pulled up right now and you said, Peyton, you want to go to Florida to hunt pythons? She'd be like, right now? Like, that's what she wants to do.
Really?
So, yeah, you got to get there, man. You're right where you're at, about a 45-minute drive, there's tons of places you can just go and drive down these country roads, and there's guys that go out there, and they pull them out, they cut their heads off. And now, they don't show them cutting their heads off because it's YouTube. Yeah. But, you don't have to have a license, and they want you. They're so invasive. They are taking over the Everglades. They're taking they're moving inland. Yeah, so
no kidding.
And iguanas.
Are pythons poisonous?
No.
So they're harmless?
They're harmless to us until they get it to about 10 feet long, and then you got to be careful
because then won't they choke you out? Is that kind of
choke you out? Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
That's their strategy. Got it.
And now if they're in Texas, and I'm sure there's people in Florida who just take it like a 410 and just shoot them. Sure. That's what I'd do. I'm not getting in the water and grabbing it. There's alligators out there.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I'm not about to do that.
Yep.
But you got a Satan cat. You got a dog. That's cool. You got a beautiful wife, and y'all are actually serving at a church right now, helping out. Can you share a little about that?
Yeah. So we were first of all we're super new to Florida, obviously. So we were in Wisconsin for me, a little over 10 years. My wife, she's a native from Wisconsin. I met her there.
She a cheesehead?
No, she's a Chiefs fan.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
That's right.
Because she married me.
She married you.
Born and raised Kansas City.
Smart lady.
Yeah, absolutely.
Smart lady.
Absolutely. That's why I married her.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
you knew she was intelligent.
Yeah, man. She's part of Chiefs Kingdom for sure. Anyway, so we lived in Wisconsin for the last 10 or so years. I did. She lived there her whole life. And then anyway, we get to Orlando, and we go to a church there called Jesus Image. And so we just attend. My wife does the school there. They have you could do it 1-year program, 2-year program, or 3-year program, and she's just wrapping up her first year. So it's been really good.
Nice.
I love it.
And Florida's beautiful. You just have to wait 30 minutes if it rains, because it rain. Have you experienced? Y'all been there long enough to
Dude,
just
you don't even get me started. Okay, so this is I'm going to give you the Reader's Digest version. So we bought a house sight unseen. So we were in Wisconsin, and we'd been serving in our church there for over 10 years. And then the Lord said, sell everything except what you can't fit into these 2 trailers, and you're going to Orlando. We're going to Orlando? we're leaving everyone we love, all of our friends, all of our family, our community.
Snow.
And the snow, that sounded good to me. But everything else, why are we going to Orlando? But anyway, we go down to Orlando and we bought a house sight unseen. And we just bought the thing. And we felt peace on it in our hearts, And we get there and, dude, I'm not kidding you. There are such bad water leaks.
Oh, man.
Almost every time it rains. The first time it rained, we had water pouring into our kitchen. It looked like, it wasn't just like a little trickle. I'm not joking. It looked like a stream, just
Lord.
pouring right in. So anyway, we've been wrestling with some water damage. I wish it was only 30 minutes, and sometimes it is. But there's been a few instances where it's raining all day, and we're just like when I flew down here. My wife sent me a picture I could show you actually.
Yeah, y'all haven't experienced a hurricane yet, have you?
We had one that was supposed to hit us, and then it ended up just going north. It actually went and hit Tampa pretty good.
Tampa deserved it.
Yeah, man.
God was mad at Tampa.
Yeah, for hogging.
What's funny is every time hurricanes come, people pray, don't let it come here.
Yeah, so
but
what
it's got to go somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, here you go. This is inside. It's probably hard for you to tell, but that's concrete, and it's all wet.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Brutal, man. Just brutal. That's why when you messaged me about the monsoon y'all just had,
oh, it was
and
horrid.
you said, "Yeah, it's really bad." I said, "Is your house flooded?" First thing I thought of.
Yeah. Thankfully, no. Thankfully, it was bad here. I mean, I think somebody's rain gauge in just a matter of hours is like 5.5 inches.
That's crazy.
Well, when we had the one hurricane in 24 hours, we got 57 inches.
Which one was that?
Harvey. Yeah, okay. Harvey. 57 inches of rain. And that was, but I didn't flood, but everybody else, I mean, every direction people flooded.
Man.
It really, really was horrible for people. So y'all heard the voice of God. Y'all head down to Florida. Y'all start attending a church. She's going to their school they have there.
Yeah.
And so met you there in, I almost said
St. Louis.
Let's just say St. Louis because
let's roll with it.
It's where the bougie people stay. We were there at our
Except
bougie
the Rams,
hotel.
I
Yeah.
guess.
And I was there with Thad. You met Thad.
Yeah. Looks like Thomas Rhett.
He looks just like Thomas Rhett.
Yeah, identical.
Just like Thomas Rhett.
Yep.
Yeah, I never could put my finger on who he looked like.
Thomas Rhett, he loves the Lord.
Yes.
Like the real Thomas Rhett.
And
so when I saw y'all at Fairview Heights, or St. Louis, I'm like, what's Thomas Rhett and his bodyguard doing here?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Well, you want to talk about a slash to your ego. So we're checking into this bougie hotel, and the lady says, "You know who you look like?" To him, "You look like the guy from The Hangover."
No.
And he's like, "The guy from The Hangover." And then it hits him. He goes, "You mean like the fat one, Zach Galifianakis?" She's like, "Yeah, you look just like him." And I'm like, he looks nothing like him. Like, I don't see that at all.
Wow.
But you talk about a slap to the ego.
Because he's probably always getting Thomas Rhett.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like, oh.
That's so funny. He's probably getting always Thomas Rhett, and you're always getting Grant Cardone.
I get Grant Cardone.
You probably can't tell on the cameras, but I'm telling you, in person, the smile, the laugh, it's all Grant. Uncle G.
Maybe I ought to try to get Grant to come on, because he's got
plenty
of things to do to come to Huffman, Texas.
Lots of real estate around here.
There is lots of real estate.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, if he's got a couple $1 billion, there's a development over here he could buy. And
there you go.
I need to reach out to him.
I think you should.
I only want 10%.
That's fair.
What's 10% to him? So we met there. Actually, was it no? It wasn't the first night. I think it was the last night.
Yeah.
I walked over and introduced myself, and I just knew that I needed to meet you.
Yeah.
Actually, from the second I saw you, I was like, man, I need to meet that guy. Mm-hmm. And Jake spoke, and I tell you, when he did, with such grace, but the only way I know how to say it was just kind of like smooth like butter, and with such confidence and such authority. And when you get somebody who can speak that way, that lets you know they truly believe in what they're doing. When you aren't second guessing who you are. You know who you are in life. You know who you are in Christ. And when people don't know who they are, I've said this so many times. The older people get, if they really don't know who they are, they're a dangerous person. And I don't mean physically.
Yeah.
They're just kind of like a wave tossed in the ocean. They're still trying to figure out who they are. But when you get somebody who's confident in who they are, knows their purpose, knows exactly what it is they're doing, then it really breeds that degree of confidence. And of course, when you're going and you're delivering not your message but God's message, you can do it with confidence because it's
greatest message of all time.
Absolutely. And if you reject and you don't care for it, you're not rejecting me. It's not my message.
Yeah,
you know?
just
and,
the messenger, baby.
So you're going to be speaking to the church Sunday morning. And
I pray it's as smooth as butter.
I hope so too.
That's the best.
It better be, because people will start booing. Man, Keith will stand up and say, "You're from St. Louis, or you're from Kansas City. You don't know."
Master?
Yeah.
Oh my Lord! You already put me at odds with him.
He's like, "You don't know barbecue, and you don't know how to speak."
Y'all don't know. Listen, Keith is apparently he's a beast of a barbecuer. I saw this stack at the church. And it's impressive.
We forgot to get the snowboard.
Yeah,
so random.
A snowboard in Texas. Yeah, you'd have to be there. But Keith, he's the pit master of Huffman Church. And
yeah.
I said, well, he's going to have to prove it, like as a joke, because I'm thinking I need to try the barbecue. It's really just a selfish prod. And then Keith calls David. David answers the phone and said, "Hey, I'm here with Jake. He's going to be preaching on Sunday." And he says, "You don't know nothing about barbecue." He's a Kansas City boy. And he says, "You better show up." And
I'm just glad his answer is what it is.
Yeah.
Because he was on speakerphone.
Yeah.
But Keith is a great guy, I tell you what. And I wouldn't be surprised if he showed up with some barbecue. That's just how Keith is.
Oh man.
It wouldn't surprise me one bit.
Man.
Wouldn't surprise me one bit.
That would be awesome.
We should have planned it out to where we had the big pit going, and we took today and just barbecued all day.
Oh, I could have.
The only hard thing about that pit's so big, you need to really fill it up.
You got to make it worthwhile
when you're cooking. Yeah, to fire that up and burn that much wood just for 3 or 4 people.
How many briskets did you say? 60.
You can put 100 total on it, but on one side you can put 60, and you can put. If you're doing leg quarters, you can put 400, 500 leg quarters.
Good grief.
Just on one side.
What are you guys doing with that much meat?
We cook for the high school.
Okay.
The
whole school?
No, just for the coaches. But so we've done it a couple years in a row. You saw the tomahawks we cooked for the coaches. We cooked those tomahawks. Then they had, I don't know if it was a regional or district track meet, but there was over 125 coaches from all the surrounding schools. We cooked for all them. Last year it was even bigger, but yeah, we fired up. We do sausage, chicken, brisket, ribs, and we just feed the coaches and have some awesome people in our community. My good friend John, his son, who is a stud of a track star in 11th grade, has already set and beat school records. Just got accepted to a school in Florida. Will be finishing in his senior year at a athlete school, one of the most prestigious schools in the nation.
His senior year of high school?
Senior year of high school.
He's transferring to Florida.
To Florida, yeah.
And then, is there a college talking to him in Florida? Or was that just a school?
This school, I don't want to use the word guarantee, but they get the attention of all the Division I schools.
Okay.
This kid will probably, if he even escalates 15% stronger from where he's at, he will end up beating Ashton Eaton's triathlon record. He's that good.
Really?
He's a natural too.
Wow.
Just a freak of nature.
Wow.
So we got.
And this is whose son?
His name's John. John's one of my friends and golf buddies. But he shows up. He helps us cook. That's my daughter. He helps us cook. He helps with the high school. Matter of fact, the last couple times he's bought all the food for the coaches, and we cook it for them.
No kidding. Man, that's a lot of brisket, and that's a lot of chicken quarters.
It's a lot.
My goodness.
And we have a gentleman in our church for 25 years. He worked at a restaurant distribution company for food. So we can go and get this stuff, for pennies on the dollar because we're getting at restaurant wholesale prices.
Okay.
So it really makes it worthwhile for us to go do that.
Yeah, I'll say.
And so it's awesome. But so you saw the pit, you heard Keith's voice, and and kind of gave you a little tour of the property. And
yes.
Last night made Jake a steak.
Oh my goodness!
I'm gonna start calling you Jake the Steak Roberts.
That would be a first.
That would be a first.
Either Jake the Snake Roberts or Jake from State Farm. So I'll go with Jake the Steak.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to coin that phrase.
That was the best steak I've ever had.
And then
the
we had
best steak, y'all. 2 inches thick, tomahawk, Wagyu steak.
It was amazing.
Unbelievable.
It was great.
Has some I don't want to spill the beans on any of the secrets.
No, go ahead.
Jalapeno olive oil.
Yes.
And then, well, first of all, dry brined for
Yes.
2 hours, set at room temperature, and tons of salt on there, and then you washed all that salt off, and then you put some of that jalapeno olive oil on there,
which is made here in Texas.
Okay, shout out to Texas again.
HEB, baby.
HEB, I swear. You must be sponsored by HEB.
I should ask.
Everywhere we go, we're driving, and you're like, there's HEB through the trees, through the buildings right there. You can kind of see the right side of the building. It was so funny.
Matter of fact, when we move on to our next session, I'm going to have an HEB water.
Okay, there you go.
Absolutely.
Just to send the message.
Absolutely. And last night we had a good time. You got to meet my daughter.
Yep.
Jake got to witness the unspeakable bond that Peyton and I have.
Yeah.
She comes walking outside and she's standing there listening to us, and I just stopped and look at her and said, "What do you want?" And I didn't say it like that. I'm like, "What do you want, baby?"
Yeah, and she starts dying.
She
laughing.
just starts dying because she wanted something.
Yeah.
Just like she does right now. And we got to hang out last night, spend some time together. And today we woke up, had the steak again for breakfast and some eggs.
Yeah.
We're all about the meat and HEB down
I'm
there,
not
man.
going to lie to you. I didn't say nothing until this moment. But every piece of steak that Roman got,
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm envious.
He knows where to sit.
When
and
you
stand.
made the omelet steak, you made 2 omelets, right? And then there was steak just filled with all of them. There wasn't room for more. So you had a few extra pieces of steak on your plate. And I was thinking, as you turn around with it, I'm like, oh, he's going to ask me if I want some extra pieces.
No, it's going to the
bends
dog.
down, gives it to Roman. It was like a full platter.
Oh, man.
That's why I said, Roman eats better than most humans, bro.
He devoured that bone.
Oh, my
I mean,
goodness.
just devoured.
Fast.
And unfortunately, I may be a grandfather after this morning.
A poodle.
A German Shepherd poodle. Lord,
That's going to
Lord. Those are going to be ugly. Be like gremlins, man. Not going to be able to get rid of them. But Roman, yeah.
Yeah. Sweet dog.
So we're getting ready for tomorrow morning, and we've been excited to have you for a while. Been trying, went through a lot of different things, you know.
Yeah, you did.
Father had a stroke, you know, just had a lot going on. So we finally, after St. Louis, here we are, or Illinois.
Yeah.
I just don't like Illinois. I think that's what it is. I just
don't like the state.
I don't like Chicago. So
Okay, so then the whole state just
State.
pays the price.
yeah, absolutely.
All right.
It's kind of like they're the Cowboys of Illinois. You know, everybody hates them.
That's true.
That-
You
that-
talking about the Bears specifically, or like Chicago? Like
Just Chicago in general.
Okay. All right.
Chicago is, to me, everything. Well, I'll tell you who ruined it was Juicy Smollett or Jesse Smollett or whatever. You know, the guy who said that he got beat up by some MAGA supporters there in.
Is he the guy that? I think I remember seeing that. It was all over the news, right?
Oh, it was Aller, and he was lying.
It was like these 2 guys that he hired
He hired these 2 guys to beat him
mug
up.
him or something.
Yeah,
That's crazy. That was in Chicago, huh?
that was in Chicago. Go
Okay.
figure. Go
Okay.
figure. Wouldn't happen in Houston. Wouldn't happen in Houston because
Wild.
everybody has a gun on them.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
We love our guns, bro.
I'm seeing that.
Yeah,
I'm
we love our
seeing that.
guns.
Yeah.
And I personally don't have any, but everybody around here loves guns. And so here we are. We're fast forwarding a little bit. Tomorrow, and you're going to be speaking with the church, but we're going to wrap this up and maybe get into another segment, man. I'd like to hear. I'd like you to just kind of share where you've come in life, where you've been, what you've seen, what led you, how God found you, and how you accepted Him. And if you can get as deep as you want, if you want to get into your mistakes, failures you've had, because we've all had them.
That'd be a 4-hour podcast.
Well, good,
Probably.
absolutely.
A little longer than that.
Dang it, man! Mine was 12 hours. So
Oh my goodness.
you know
We
all
got a
make-
few years on me though.
yeah.
So by the time I catch up, might
Carry
be
the
about 13,
one
14.
a decade and a year. You know, I think that's one of the things with people is you need to learn to embrace your failures and not accept them, But realize if you're a great person right now, those failures helped you become a great person. And you don't need to walk around ashamed of your past. Now, if you've done something super detrimental and you've hurt people, yeah, you know, but if you've made mistakes and you've had a moral failure in areas, if you've, you know, we've all been there, no matter who they are. And I think that is where we have gotten to as society, is people are sick and tired of perfect people. Because there isn't one. There was only one perfect person.
Yeah, that's right.
And thank God.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think people are just to the position. And you know, with my wingman, I'll just say that so nobody knows who I'm talking about. Like guys, when they get around some of the guys, they're like, "Man, you talk the same at church."
Behind the pulpit.
Yeah, you say things that and you act the same everywhere. And I'm like, well, I try to be me.
Yeah.
And, you know,
isn't that how it should be?
It absolutely. But then I do get into this, and I really believe this. Remember how Trump was talking and somebody recorded him? He said, well, that was locker room talk.
Yeah.
We all have people in our lives we talk differently around. We have people we can joke with, like my brothers. I talk differently to my brothers.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
yeah,
you know.
For sure.
So if anybody got our text message, our group text messages of what we send and how we talk to each other, you would think these people are, no, that's how we grew up.
Right,
We're brothers.
Right.
So I am going to talk to my brother differently. I'm going to talk differently on the golf course with my golf buddies. Just like, I won't say his name, but I got a guy, he oil exec. He talks differently on the golf course than he does in the board meetings.
Of course.
Because he's relaxed. We're joking around. We're having a good time. Hopefully I'm kicking their butts, you know.
Yeah.
They're just, you know, that's so I think when people are like, well, somebody's fake because they were this way. No, they were comfortable enough around you to just kind of have that camaraderie and pick on you a little bit.
Yeah. In some ways you got to match the room you're in.
Absolutely.
Right.
And
like
some people
you've got to match the clientele or the situation.
Yes.
You can't just, yeah.
And some people need to learn to know the room you're in.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that could preach.
Well, it's like the car we saw today. What did it say? Howdy effers or something like that. I'm like, who would put that on your car?
Yeah.
Like there's people walk into rooms and act that way, and they are really being them, and there's nothing wrong with that. But know your room.
Yeah, some social awareness is incredibly valuable.
It's super valuable.
Yeah.
Super valuable. Well, man, let's take a break, and I'm going to grab some HEB water, and we'll...
I'm going to go get some steak.
I wish.
I wish.